Well, here we are at the thermo hog that you didn't get to see at the show. We're running it through some paces here, doing some final testing, and just to let you know, this customer did not want to have a mechanical pointer, just so he could save a little bit of weight. Where it's going to go is in Oregon, and it has a lot of weight restrictions on the road. The other thing is he wanted us to shorten the wheelbase and have room for only 2 pallets on the deck, double stacked. The compressor is a Boss 250 CFM. The tank underneath it that says Hog Technologies, that is a 100-gallon fuel tank to operate the compressor and the burner. Below it is a 100-gallon fuel tank, chassis only. Moving around, we have some room for toolboxes. This truck's got a pusher axle on it. It's a 13,000 pound. We would have a 20,000 pound axle on the 236 wheelbase. And up in here are the hot oil pumps. They're all very accessible, and valving. Pretty quiet scene, actually. So we have on this side one hot oil pump to feed oil from this big reservoir up here, and that reservoir is getting pumped through into a melter. We have another oil pump that is dedicated to pumping oil from that reservoir through the burner. And this is a 30-inch diameter by 60-inch coil. There's 720 linear feet of pipe inside there, and 1.2 million BTU single burner on this truck. So there is no burners under the melters. The melters are strictly oil jacketed. There's 3 sections. The top section has room for thermoplastic and adding material. The center section is a giant heat exchanger with 520 tubes, 1-inch diameter, that the thermoplastic goes down into, and is fed into the bottom section, where once it goes through the tubes, it's melted, and then you can directly apply it through the pump, down through the hoses, and through the filter, and ultimately to the guns. The other pump is dedicated only for recirculating hot thermoplastic from the bottom, running it straight up the top through hard pipe, all oil jacketed, and directly into the top of the melter where there's a T. And the other direction, it comes from the recirc on the gun circuit. So we have a dedicated pump pumping high volumes of thermoplastic. And that high volume of thermoplastic is blending in with the bag material going up the conveyor. This truck has an 8-inch ribbon gun on the white side, and as you can see, the ground clearance is like fantastic. And our hoses are all tucked in nicely through a support mechanism. The carriage has a locking mechanism right here that even if you lose air, that spring pin will keep that carriage from falling. If you happen to lose power, it defaults to the up position with what air you may have left. So it actually takes power to lower the carriage. This truck does have a laser pointer on it, on the carriage that is. Thermopans in the back. Highly accessible valves. Control panel. Every truck we have is set up for ribbon or spray. And these are the spray regulators. Skip line box and your thermo pump speed control is all in a nice convenient location. You don't have to reach over to the panel. Multiple readings on our PLC for the white and the yellow. 3,000 pound bead tank with windows. I think you can hear the burner going. These gauges on top are showing the oil pressures for each of the circuits. Each melter has its own oil recirculation, in addition to the fact that there is a recirculating pump for the large reservoir between the conveyors, and then we have a hoses pump that is dedicated to heating the the oil in the hoses, and that's controlled by a separate temperature gauge here. There's a lot of safety mechanisms built in so that you can't overheat the oil and the burner can't run. There's actually 3 redundant systems to keep that from happening. On this side we have the carriage setup, and this happens to be a 3-gun setup, and I'm going to go grab somebody over here to see if they can operate. Well, I guess I can do it. You notice here we have a gun slide switch, and in Oregon they have, like I say, a 3-gun setup. When they want to do a center line, they just do that. That's your double yellow. And then if you need to do skip no pass on the opposite side, you do that. And then back to double yellow. The bead guns, of course, shift with it. I think that's about all there is. Oh, the other thing was, on your 6-inch ribbon guns, I figured out I could actually make that gun slide system work. The guns will actually touch each other whenever you get them together on a 3-gun setup, but there is enough space in there to have a line, a 2-inch gap, and then another line, 6-inch line. So we're over on the yellow side, center line. We have night light, and see if I could get up there. I wanted to show you the recirculation of the thermoplastic into the melter. So this is part of what helps our system melt so quickly. See if I can zoom in on that. That is the flow of thermoplastic. At a high rate of flow. So all that plastic going in on top of the bags is actually what's helping the thermoplastic melt on the top section. All right, they're getting ready to take this truck and go. I'm going to do some edge line skips. This is the box showing our hog speed control, and all that does is apply brakes or accelerator, and there is no interface with the drivetrain. All the hydraulics are driven off the engine on a PTO. We have dual pumps, very accessible. inside we have 100 gallons of hydraulic fluid. System's got a camera pointer system on it, and we'll just pick this up here in a little bit.